Hello, this is Thomas Trombley, Town Supervisor, Town of Champlain, and welcome to our rollout of our food, Eat Smart, Waste Less, our food waste program. We're pretty excited about it because we're the first in Clinton County to roll this out. We're hoping that people follow. And I'm going to introduce you to Cody Douglas from the Clinton County Health Department to say a few words, and I'll be back.
All right, thank you, Tom. As Tom said, my name is Cody Douglas. I'm a senior public health educator at the Clinton County Health Department in our Health Planning and Promotion Division. I'm here on behalf of the Health Department through our Eat Smart Waste Less grant that we have, courtesy of the New York State DEC. We're super excited that the town and village of Champlain have taken on this effort for this program to provide these resources and opportunities to Champlain residents to reduce the amount of food waste that they are putting in the landfill, and instead it'll be turned into compost that's kept local. So we're super excited. The hauler for these food scraps will be done by River Valley Regeneratives. They're a small company based out of Redford, New York. They are super proud that Champlain is taking on this effort. They keep all of their compost local. They have a recycled vegetable oil fueled truck that they do all of their hauling with, so it's a very renewable resource generated business that they run, and they're super excited that they have this opportunity to work with the town and village to reduce food waste in the area.
So I also have the mayor, Janet McFetridge from the village of Champlain here. We will be doing a rollout of their program following this. But I want to point out that this program is for anyone within the township of Champlain to participate in. So if anybody in Rouse's Point wants to come sign up and be part of this, they're more than welcome. It's important that you come and sign up. You will be given the combination to the bin, which I will be showing you in a few minutes. You have a choice of one or both containers as a small countertop or under the sink container, which has a filter and a lid, I believe. And then there's a 5-gallon bucket that you could keep outside at some point in a garage or whatever if you want to make less trips. But basically what you can recycle is any food scrap such as meats, fish, butter, poultry, fruits and vegetables. So they're showing on their thing, they're showing a corn cob. I've verified you could also put corn husk in here. So that's this time of year, that's a great thing to recycle rather than put in the landfill. The things that you can't put in, like there's examples, be careful with, let's say, a banana peel. A lot of your fruits, especially bananas, comes with a sticker. Those stickers can't go in here. Just peel those stickers off before you peel your banana, and it really screws up the screening process, I guess. And coffee and grounds and coffee filters, but only the unbleached. So the brown paper filters are acceptable. The white paper filters are not acceptable. But if you come sign up, you're going to get all these materials. They're also posted on our website, and you feel free to call if you don't understand any of them. So I just want to show you the shed. There's one that's going to be located here in the town office parking lot, as you can see, and the other one will be at the second location soon when it comes in. It's been delayed. It's been touring the country, actually. It's literally, and it's on its way. The other one will be located at Bob Venn Community Park, across from the high school on 276. Thinking we're going to start by trying it in the north west corners. There's a driveway there. There's a parking area that can be used, so it's going to be very convenient. We're going to give that a try. And as you can see, they're well labeled on here. There will be a padlock on this hasp, and when you open it up, there's a little lever on the bottom, and the tote for the waste will be inside this. It is a 30-gallon tote, so it looks like a Casella garbage container, only smaller. And if this program grows, we will put 2 in each of these sheds if needed. Janet, would you like to say just a couple words, and then we'll do the ceremonial vine cutting.
So I'd just like to add that we're very happy to be partnering with the town of Champlain and the village of Champlain to bring this service to our residents. The kickoff will be in about 15 minutes at the village of Champlain across from the library. And I think we're going to do our ceremonial branch cutting.
We're going to still call it a vine cutting. Looks like a vine.
Okay, here's a vine cutting.
So yes, and so the second location will be on Elm Street in the village of Champlain, and again, let's participate in this and keep this stuff out of the landfill. It's going to reduce the carbon footprint. It produces a lot of methane gas, so it's a great thing. Okay, you want to hold that in?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And we're off.
and we're off.
All right. What a pleasure it is to kick off the food scrap collection program in the village of Champlain and in the town of Champlain. We are delighted to participate in the grant Eat Smart, Waste Less Clinton County, which was awarded by the New York State DEC to the Clinton County Health Department. Statistics show that it's very important to have these kinds of programs. 20% of trash is wasted food, and 94% of wasted food ends up in landfills, which releases methane gas. This initiative will reduce landfill waste. It will conserve resources, which will provide nutrients for gardens. It will reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and it will save you money on your garbage fees. Any resident in the village of Champlain or in the town of Champlain, which encompasses Rouse's Point, of course, who would like to participate in this program, will receive a kitchen collection bin right over here and information on what scraps can be recycled at no cost. Registration forms are available here today, I think right here, right behind me. And they'll also be available at the village office and the town office. We thank you for your participation. Remember that you already deal with your food scraps, so you might as well do that in a way that's good for the environment. I really thank all of you for turning out. This is an awesome group. It looks like we've got at least 20 people here. Shows a lot of interest in the program, and I'm now going to turn it over to Cody, who is from the health department, and he'll tell you a little bit more about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. As she mentioned, my name is Cody Douglas. I'm a senior public health educator at the Clinton County Health Department in our Health Planning and Promotion Division. And I'm here on behalf of the Eat Smart, Waste Less grant that we hold at the Health Department, courtesy of the New York State DEC. So we partnered with the town and village, and we were able to supply them with the resources to provide to their residents to reduce food waste at home. As Janet mentioned, we're already dealing with our food scraps. As she mentioned, most of them end up in the trash. So if we can deal with them in a more sustainable way, it's better for the environment, but it also, with these resources, there's educational information to help you reduce the amount of food waste that you're generating in total. The average family of 4 is estimated to waste around $3,000 in uneaten food every year, and a lot of that is because of confusion around date labels and just believing that food is actually bad before it truly is. So we have some information in each of these buckets that you'll get with your registration to educate you more on how to prevent food waste in general, and then what you can do to divert that food waste that is being generated. So we're super excited to partner with the town and village on this program. It's the first one in Clinton County, so we're very excited to offer these services to the town and village residents. But yeah, thank you all again for coming out. This is an incredible turnout, so we're very excited to have you all. We're more than happy to answer any questions that you have regarding the registration, regarding food waste in general. But yeah, thank you all. So sorry.
the process a little bit?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I can do this together?
Yep.
Okay, so of course I can't get one of those out. There. All right.
So in each of these buckets, they are meant for like a kitchen countertop or under the kitchen sink is a great spot for them as well. They have a ventilated lid. A lot of people think that your food waste is going to stink, your food scraps will stink. I keep mine in my kitchen and I haven't dumped mine in 4 weeks and it doesn't smell, I promise. So these food scraps, as they are breaking down, they release carbon dioxide, and when that gets trapped in your trash can, it gets wet, it gets stinky, and that's actually what causes your trash to smell. With it having this ventilated lid, it doesn't trap that condensation inside, so it doesn't stink as bad. So with that as well, there's some educational information. There's some information about preventing food waste in general, donating to food shelters and food pantries in our area. There's information about shopping at home, proper food storage. There's some information on the local food pantries available in Clinton County. There's information about other public drop-off locations available in our county. So even though the town and village are the first municipal programs to enact this, there are some other locations available throughout the county for others who are interested but may not live in the town or village. So all of this information is provided in each of these buckets. The program is free. Trying to think. So with the registration form, we have a little explanation about what food scraps are, what food waste is, because those terms might not be familiar with everyone. And then we just ask some very basic information about what you currently do with your food scraps at home, how you heard about the program, and how many people you have in your household, just so that we can get a better understanding of how we're serving the communities. But yeah.
So let's go over to the bin.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and we'll talk about
Absolutely.
how it works.
All right. So here we have a shed that will actually house the food collection bin that's open to any community resident. So it'll be right in here. Unfortunately, it's not available till later this afternoon due to some scheduling issues. But for these bins themselves, they can collect anything that you could have eaten or that came part of your food. So think about like corn husks, corn on the cob, those are great. Any like watermelon rinds, that's great. However, when you think about your fruit and vegetables, they typically have a produce sticker. Those really mess with the composting process, and they don't get screened out very well. The compost stays very local. It goes back to our local farms. It goes to our local food. So we want to make sure that this compost is as clean as possible. So if you can take those fruit and vegetable stickers off, that'll really help our composters. Any eggshells, that's super popular. Coffee grounds are great for it. And with this process, they can also take meat, fish, bones, and things like that that you typically can't put in a backyard compost pile. So it really offers a great solution to any food scraps and food waste that you're generating at home. These buckets are managed by River Valley Regeneratives. They're a small company based out of Redford, New York. They function with their hauling truck on recycled vegetable oil from other restaurants in the area. So it's very sustainable, and they keep all of their compost local, like I had mentioned. So you're doing a great service for the community by doing this, but you're also benefiting the environment, and you're helping your own self with your wallet, saving some money that way.
I'll just add that there will be a lock on this. We just haven't figured out exactly how we're going to attach it, so there will be a lock. So when you sign up, you will be given the lock code for it. We have Town Supervisor Tom Trombley here, and we're going to have an official vine cutting, and Tom can also tell you where the locations are in the town for their scrap program.
So yes, hello. And something I forgot to mention at the previous vine cutting was no plastic bags. I know today in the news it displayed one, but that's a no-no. That causes a huge problem. So like, you know, your vegetable bags and stuff like that, we'll recycle the plastic at the town, but the food waste cannot have any plastic. So do not deliver it in plastic bags. Just use your totes.
Right.
Um,
Would you want to tell them where yours are located?
Oh, sure, that's a good
Yeah.
idea. We'll reiterate that. So for the town of Champlain, we have one shed located at the town offices in the parking lot. The other one is on its way. It should be here hopefully in a few days, but sometime within the next week. And it will be located at Bob Venn Community Park, which is on Route 276, directly across from the high school. It's the current entrance that's there. I know we're going into construction, making a new parking lot, so it's going to be in the old entrance for now. And we'll see what happens.
You mentioned where we are now, too.
Yeah, currently we're on Elm Street in the village of Champlain, and we're located directly across from the Champlain Memorial Library. Any questions? No?
Cody, hold it.
Yep.
All right, I'll let you cut this down.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Uh-huh.
Go further down. There you go.
Thank you all for
We grow
coming.
good vines.
Please stay and sign up. Get your bucket and start gathering up those food scraps.
Okay, I've grabbed the mic, and we've got Cody here. Cody, last name again?
Douglas.
Douglas, Cody Douglas. And who's your cohort? That's whether you're here today.
I have Molly Flynn. She is our PIO over at the health department.
All right. Well, everybody's supposed to know what that
Oh,
means.
sorry. She's our principal information officer.
All right. And she's handing out flyers now, like any good PIL will do,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
So as Tom mentioned, there was a promo for this on Channel 5 this morning, and I was surprised when I saw them including a plastic bag filled with garbage thrown in there, and I said, here we are at the county trying to get rid of PFAS, and,
Yep.
and they're throwing plastic. So no plastics. But you said don't go overwhelm them with the brown paper sacks, but if somebody did have a brown paper sack, you wouldn't throw them out of here, right?
Right, yeah. So with their acceptable materials list, it has what they don't accept down at the bottom. For browns, they typically will take like unbleached paper napkins, so those brown ones, or unbleached coffee filters, which are brown. They try to limit the amount of other carbon products or other brown materials that they're taking, just because it might confuse people as to what can actually go in. So for these programs, we're primarily focusing on the addition of food scraps to these bins solely.
Okay, and these signs are there when you bring your sign up and get your food container there, or a scrap container, I should say. You'll be given this information, and when you deliver your scraps here, you'll also be reminded of what they won't take. And even necessary to put clothing down there. You don't want people throwing their old
Yep.
T-shirts in there.
Absolutely. So one thing that I did want to mention, so with the NBC5's cast this morning, it may have actually been compostable bags that they were showing. So that's typically, I mean, it's in the name that it's compostable. However, there's certain guidelines for the compostable products, and there's differences in the certifications. So some of them do have some long-lasting effects. They do have some chemicals that break down into that compost. So because of that, River Valley Regeneratives has asked that we leave compostable products out entirely. Some of them are lined with like a waxy material that'll end up in the compost. So it's just easier right now until there's some stricter guidance on what is actually allowed to be a compostable product. For the time being, they want to keep those out.
So inside of these here will initially be one garbage container about the size we see on roadsides, and people throw their garbage out for the local hauler to take away. I would think that's going to have to be picked up fairly often. That's going to fill up fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So River Valley Regeneratives, in the summertime, they typically will pick up on a weekly schedule. In the winter, because it's cooler, the food won't rot as quickly in those bins. They typically will go out to like a 2-week time period for pickup. But because they're a smaller company, they're able to be a lot more flexible with the need for pickup. So say this program really booms and they need it picked up at the end of the week, they'll be able to do that. And they're available on a more of an on-call schedule as needed. So say there was a big event or something going on in the town or village, and a lot of residents ended up using it because they're smaller and operate on their own. They're able to kind of adapt to what's needed for the community.
Okay, now this is the first rollout. Are there any other towns or villages that are currently ready to jump on board?
Yeah, so we've fielded some community surveys for resident interest in a few of our other towns across the county. So we reached out to Altona, Schuyler Falls, Peru. The city of Plattsburgh is currently doing a resident interest survey that goes for about another month. So far, these were the first two municipalities that were really gung-ho about doing it, which was great. We also had a survey go out in Moores, so we're just waiting to hear back from the town boards, see if what they thought about their resident interest, and whether they decide to move forward or not.
Okay, so this is grant funded. What happens if everybody jumps on board? Is that grant going to suffice?
Yeah, so right now it is a $200,000 grant that we were awarded by the DEC. The funding cycle does technically end at the end of the year, but we're hoping that if we're really showing some progress moving forward, that we might be able to write for an extension to extend that funding out a bit more.
Okay, so that no, don't put it off. If your community is not taking part, talk to the people who are in charge and ask them what could be done to take part in this. Obviously, the more food that goes, scraps that go in here, that's less garbage we're throwing away, less that's going into the landfill, and it's very important for all of us to take care of the environment. As I mentioned off camera, I live out in the country, and my vegetation scraps, my vegetables and fruits and stuff have been going out into the hay fields for years.
Yep.
And crops grow pretty good where I
Exactly.
where I
Yeah.
end up throwing them.
Right.
So I've been trying to recycle for the past 40 years, and it's it's working out good for the environment as far as the growth goes on those corn or hay or whatever they're growing at that particular time.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Anything else, Cody, that you think we should know about here? There's a website for the county if you want to find out more.
Yep. So on the town's website, they have information about both programs, all the information that's included in the buckets that you'll receive upon registration. That's all available on the town's website as well. The Clinton County Health Department also has information about food waste reduction on our website. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to the health department. You can give us a call at 518-565-4993, and that'll put you in contact with the Health Planning and Promotion Division.
Okay, all right. Okay, so nothing else you feel we need to add here that you're going to say 5 minutes from now, oh, I should have said, because that happens to me often, you know.
Yeah. I mean, as Jenna had mentioned, so most of our food scraps end up in the landfill. The United States wastes the most food among any country. About 40% of all food that we produce here in the U.S. Does end up being wasted, and that accounts for, I believe it's around 170 billion meals of food that could have fed our people. And so if we can prevent food waste from occurring by shopping the pantry, shopping at home first, really seeing what we have available, and then making recipes based off what we have, and then that'll help you save some money at the grocery store because you won't just be shopping with an open mind. Being a little bit more mindful when you're shopping, so trying not to shop on a hungry stomach is really important. And then when you do have any food at home that you won't eat, you have some picky eaters that you had bought for, you can always donate that excess edible food. That's the most beneficial way that you can help reduce the amount of food that's entering the landfill. The U.S. EPA has a hierarchy of reducing food waste, and that is number 2 on the list. The second is then to feed any animals. So if you have neighbors with chickens, you might be able to do some bartering there. You give them their food scraps, you might be able to get some eggs. And then the last option that's most beneficial for food waste before it enters the landfill is to participate in a program like this or do some backyard composting. It just keeps that food waste out of the landfill and keeps it from breaking down and generating that methane.
Yeah, and when you buy those carrots or those tomatoes and the lettuce, don't stick them in the back of the fridge. Stick them where
Right.
you're going to see them, and remember to pull them out.
Exactly. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we all go through our fridge and say, "Oh, I haven't seen that in about 2
Yep.
weeks." And
Yes, absolutely. And making sure how you should actually be storing everything. I thought that every fruit and vegetable went in that bottom drawer in the crisper,
No.
and that's just not the
No.
case. So really understanding where food should be stored to extend their life. Understanding food date labels, as I had mentioned, is super important. We throw about 3 billion pounds of food away every year, and that's about $7 billion worth of food that we throw out just because we don't fully understand date labels. So I like to give the example of Stewart's milk. That typically is better much longer than what's dated, and that's because those date labels are actually just to indicate the product's best quality typically. It's only ever the case for a safety date label when it's on infant formula. If it's on infant formula and it passes that date, you shouldn't use it. It's expired and it's no longer safe to be used. Otherwise, they recommend just using your senses to really get an understanding of what food is still safe to.
Yeah, you sniff that milk, you can tell if it's gone.
Exactly, yeah.
And
You
sometimes
slush
it's
it around and it's a little chunky. Maybe we keep it out of the cereal. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but you don't want milk in here either, though. The milk you might as well put down the drain.
So nope, they do take dairy products. So any milk, yogurt, cheese, stuff like that can go in these. But you'll
Okay.
typically in a backyard pile will want to keep that out because it can draw animals in. But because of the way that they process their compost in a large windrow pile, they're able to take a lot of the products that you typically wouldn't put in a backyard pile.
Okay. So you can throw that old half a quart of milk away. You can throw it in
Yep,
here.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And hopefully other towns will jump on board fairly soon, and hopefully we can find a padlock. Now I
Yeah.
assume that each container is going to have their own padlock with its own combination. So if you get a padlock from the village here, don't expect it to work when you go up to the town spot.
So the combinations are going to be uniform across the town and village, just to make it simple for the residents,
Okay.
because everyone is so close.
Okay. Good.
So they will be the same. So upon registration, the
You can go
combination
any-
you
any of
receive
those-
here, it'll work at the town
Any of those
locations as
three
well.
locations. Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.